Welcome to Good Times with Alex and Ryan. I'm your host at Ryan Sprague. You can follow me on any social media at Ryan W. Sprague. And my co-host Alex here is here to tell you a little bit more.
What a beautiful introduction, Ryan.
You think?
Yeah, that was good. My name is Alex Vanover. You can follow me on Twitter at Vandollar15. You can follow me on YouTube at Alex Vanover. You can follow me on the Instagram, my favorite social media, at Alex Vanover15.
Hey, Alex, you hear this?
What's that?
That's a Good Times horse, ready to get on, ready for a ride, and get on the horse and go.
Saddle up, buddy.
If you have not subscribed, hit that notification bell, hit that follow button. Go ahead and do it now because the good times are rolling.
I think I'm too heavy to get on that horse and be a jockey for the Good Times gang. I think my weight would exceed the limit to be the Good Times jockey. So Ryan, you might have to do it.
No, because there's chariots behind there. You get to ride the chariot. There's more than one Good Times gang horse. And
I'll look like Spartacus.
Yes.
As long as you get me one of those. Hey, we need to get a Spartacus helmet in the Good Times merch shop, and I'll wear it.
I think that's a great idea, Alex.
Spartacus. Hey, Ryan, if we were going to get merch from the Good Times shop, where would we go?
There's only one place to go. teespring.com/goodtimes with Alex and Ryan.
Ryan, I teed that up for you, and you hit it out of the park, buddy.
Woo! Like Babe Ruth.
He called his shot. Did you know he called his shot and actually hit a home run?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it live.
You were there?
Yeah. Yeah, time traveler.
Wow. Hey, have you ever seen those photos on the internet where, I don't know if they're superimposed. They're probably photoshopped, but it'll be like someone at a fight in the 1980s, like, hey, there was a guy at a Mike Tyson fight.
Oh, yeah,
He got a cell phone. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, something would be so easily photoshopped or something.
Yeah, like yeah. And if someone like my dad would see that photo and be like, oh my God, time travel is real. He wouldn't even think, he doesn't even know what Photoshop is. He would have no idea that it's photo. No clue.
Well, Kip in Napoleon Dynamite looked into it and he knows it's real. Yeah, I figured out. Uncle Rico tried it.
Hey, Kip. You know anything about time travel? Easy. I've already looked into it for myself. Turn it off! Turn it off, Kip! Turn it off! Turn it off!
All righty, Alex. What do we got? Do we got the five? The five?
We've got, I don't know if they're five, but we do have some fun, crazy facts. Crazy but true facts.
I'm ready. Come on. Hit them.
All right.
Boom.
Crazy but true fact. Number one. You're more likely to win a gold medal than the lottery.
I can see that, but that's nuts.
That is nuts.
Well, but you have to be, think about it like this, though. Like, that's not true for everybody, okay? So you would probably be more likely to win the lottery if you're, like, on your deathbed, right? So that's just like an extreme example. So it's not totally true. It's dependent upon your age and how healthy you are.
Ryan, let me break down the numbers for you before you get into this tangent. Let me break it down for you. Pow. All right, the numbers, the sheer numbers. Everybody knows that I'm a mathematician and I'm a numbers guy. You think math, okay?
From MIT, Alex, the Van Man.
Yeah. If you see Alex Vanover, the first thing you think of is, man, he is good at math. All right, here we go. The odds of winning the Mega Millions lottery are 1 in 302.6 million, okay? Your odds of winning an Olympic gold medal are 1 in 662,000.
Unless
what?
Unless you're super, unless you're like on your deathbed or you're just like, you know, and then or maybe you don't have. How are you going to win? How are you going to win a swimming competition if you don't
Okay.
have an arm?
Well, with that attitude, you never will. Just kick harder. Kick, kick like you're gonna die because you're gonna die because you're gonna drown. So kick your ass off and get to the other side before everybody else.
All I'm saying is there is a point where winning the lottery would be a better chance than the Olympics.
All right,
There's a
all
point
right.
somewhere. It's like you know that you ever see Monty Python where that guy got his arms and legs chopped off.
Yeah, where he says it's a flesh wound.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I would think that winning the lottery would be a better chance for him than winning the Olympics.
All right. Okay. Well, you know what? We're just gonna have to agree to disagree because the math says different, Ryan. All right. Hey, Ryan. Next crazy but true fact, Ryan. In 1957, at a Philadelphia Phillies baseball game, Richie Ashburn fouled the ball off and smacked Alice Roth in the face, and it ended up breaking her nose.
Aw.
Okay, so that's bad. That's a terrible deal. Medics showed up to tend to her, and they started to like lead her out of the stadium to like tend to her broken nose. Well, the very next pitch, Ashburn fouled the ball off again, and then hit Alice again. This time in the leg, knocking her down.
Wow.
She got hit on back-to-back foul balls by the same batter at the same game in the same day, like 30 seconds apart. So she got hit by a foul ball after she just broke her nose on a foul ball.
That's crazy. That's wow. Yeah.
Isn't that so? From that moment on, her family or her, if they ever went to a Phillies game, they were treated like royalty by the Phillies organization. It was considered good luck at that point.
Oh.
That's unheard of. Nobody
Yeah.
gets. I've been to so many baseball games. I went to a baseball game with Nicole, my girlfriend. We went to Seattle, and she doesn't really watch the baseball games. She's so focused on trying to get the Moose's attention, the Mariner Moose's attention. So she's looking everywhere but the game. She's trying to find the Moose. So, and the Moose is like, "Hey, Nicole, I'm a big old moose. You know, I hope you find me so we can take a picture together because I'm the Mariner. I'm a moose." Okay?
Rocky and you got the Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, yeah. So she's trying to find the moose. So Robinson Cano hit a home run in like 2014, and we were in the left field stands. So Cano hits a home run. We're like 3 rows up. The ball is coming towards us. I have a glove. I'm trying to catch it. It's right next to her, like 2 feet above her head. She's not looking. She could have got hit right in the face. The person above us reached over and grabbed the ball. She could have had a home run ball from Robinson Cano, but she was too busy trying to get her hot moment of glory in the sun with the Mariner Moose, Ryan.
Well, that's the thing about baseball games. You always got to pay attention because
Remember?
sometimes they hit dingers really
Like Big Al.
straight
Like
on.
Big Al.
Yeah, straight up. Like I've seen it where people just they got to get hauled out because it's just.
It's
breaks.
like, Ryan, how'd you like the game, man? Great game. You're like, oh, it's awesome. I got hit in the face. I broke my nose. I got a free baseball and bleeding all over. Oh, it was such a great time. Do you remember when we went to Safeco together and it was the Mariners and Royals, and
Yeah.
it was the night Ichiro got his 200th hit for like the 4th or 5th straight year, and
Yeah.
you and I were sitting in the nosebleed sections, and we had decided we were going to walk all the way down and sit behind like the home plate basically. So if you were watching the game on TV, you'd see us because we were right behind the batter. Do you remember when we did that?
Was it towards the end of the game?
Yes, it was like Ichiro hit the home run probably in like the 8th inning, so the stadium had almost cleared out because it was super late and the Mariners were losing. So
Okay,
you and I were
yeah. I kind of remember because I was like, oh, I thought we were closer, but then it makes sense because we wouldn't be able to afford the seats.
We had horrible tickets for the first 5 or 6 innings, and then for the last 3 innings, we were in the high rollers section. And the ushers like saw us walk down there and just did not care. They're like, well, there's 12,000 people in this stadium. We don't give a crap. Like, just let him. Poor kid had a terrible lemonade earlier. Just let him down there.
I did
All
that.
right, Ryan.
I did that at a Blazers game, and they told me to leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
they did.
did you actually have to leave though? Did you leave or did you
Yeah.
apologize?
I know. Okay. So I didn't. I'm like, oh crap, these aren't my seats. Okay, and I left. But the other guy was trying to make a scene. Like, no. I'm like, dude, just leave. Don't make it, please.
I can't believe that they actually enforced that and like carried it out. That's crazy. I've seen people try to do it and they just tap you on the shoulder and say like, go back to your seat or we'll send you home. That's crazy.
What do you mean? Like, come down?
Yeah,
That's what they
I've
did.
seen people get caught but never told to leave. So
No, they didn't tell us to leave the stadium. They just told us to leave. Those aren't your seats.
okay, that's what I was getting at. Okay, thank
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, that's good. Hey, here you want to hear another crazy but true fact? Because this one's we have to go way, way back in time for this one, but this one is nuts.
Okay. Let's
All right.
go way back.
John Wilkes Booth is the guy who killed Abraham Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, did you know that his brother saved Abraham Lincoln's son's life at one point?
No, that's cool.
I researched this last night. Listen to this. Robert Todd Lincoln was the son of Abraham Lincoln. And one day he was on a crowded train platform. He had really good manners and he was trying to get out of the other people's way so they could get on the train. So he pressed his back against the train to let people by. Well, when he was doing that, he actually stepped off the platform and was stuck between the platform and the train. So the train started to move. Like, this little boy could die from this.
Wow.
But that's when Edwin Booth, also a famous theater actor, because his brother and him were both actors, saw that Lincoln's son was in a bad position and pulled him up to safety. And this is before his brother, killed Abraham Lincoln, the president, at Ford Theater.
That's
what
crazy.
do you think about that?
Wow. How far ahead of time was it before he?
It was like from what I could gather, because they don't give it a solid date, but it was about 2 or 3 years before the murder had occurred.
Man, that's nuts.
That is nuts. Yeah, that's crazy because, and they probably had no idea that it was even Lincoln's son, because at the time or maybe they did. I don't know.
Well, they didn't. The reason they started doing Secret Service was way down the line after the Civil War. Garfield was president, and he was shot and killed. So they're like, well, maybe we should get some people to protect our presidents.
they're like, can't just be having the president get murdered every other day.
He's just walking around and some crazy person shoots him. Yeah, probably not a good idea.
That is nuts, man. That is nuts. So JFK, like when he was assassinated, wasn't it? So he wanted to be in a convertible with the top down because he wanted the people to see him. Is that what was going on? He wanted to be able to wave.
I think they just didn't think about it. They're just like, oh, here's a convertible. Here you go, buddy.
Yeah, this will look good. You can wave to the people.
Exactly.
It'll get a PR moment. Jeez, boy, oh boy, did that. I mean, I don't want to get dark on good times, but that was one of the moments where, in American history, where that changed everything. Anybody I talked to in my family knew exactly where they were when that happened.
Yeah, it was a 9/11 moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was also, from everything I've read about him and watched, he was extremely popular.
Oh yeah, great charisma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was Obama, basically, kind of Obama-esque speaker. Very popular with just the way he spoke and stuff. Check this out. Since we're talking about trains, here's one more good times, crazy but true fact, and it's also train related. This one is pretty nuts too. All right, Ryan, you ready, buddy?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
I want you to pay attention because this guy in this next fact was not paying attention. All right. Okay. In 2013, a Michigan man, his name was Daryl C., was walking along the train tracks. He was listening to his music so loud he didn't hear an oncoming train.
Oh.
Well, the train ended up hitting him at 110 miles per hour straight on.
What?
Straight on. hit this
How do you
dude
110? Where is this at?
in Michigan.
They have trains that go that fast. Wow.
Yeah, so this train, it was probably like an Amtrak or something, probably. Like, who knows? The train threw this man 20 feet from the impact, broke bones all throughout his body, crushed a lot of his vertebrae. He actually survived this incident. He doesn't remember anything about it. The only thing he needed was a metal plate put in his neck to support his, neck, obviously, because he was hurt pretty bad. He remembers nothing of it, like I said before. And the railroad conductor to this day says, I've never heard of anyone getting hit by a train at this rate of speed. I've never seen anyone getting hit by a train at this rate of speed, and survived.
Wow.
So you know who this guy the only person this could have been is Bruce Willis in Unbreakable. It's not Daryl C. It was Bruce Willis in Unbreakable. He just got up, dusted himself off, put his freaking rain flicker on, and went back to work.
Then the bad guy wouldn't have had to kill all those other people to find him.
Mr. Glass.
Yeah, Glass got lucky and found him right off.
He's like, just hit everybody that's wearing a raincoat near this train, and we'll just sort them out. We'll find out who it is.
He's just like, I'm going on a rampage. I'm going to find that person that doesn't get hurt.
Like, Mr. Glass, like, you know how many innocent people we're going to hit with trains? Like, I don't care.
I don't care. I got to find him.
Get it done.
I got to find my purpose.
All right, Ryan. Now we're going to switch over to the next segment. We're doing good time sports. Hit it. More. Hey, pretend to be a quarterback. Down, sit. Go.
42, Ohio. 42, Ohio. Huh.
Country time, lemonade, T-street, down, sit. Bye. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time we do that, like, vendor like joking around, like, yeah, country time. I remember when we were over at the game and we embarrassed one and he never came back.
Oh yeah, because we were doing the voice.
Yeah, he came out, he's like cotton canna, and then we were just like cotton canna, and he looks at us. He turned around, walked up the stairs, and never came back.
Hey, that guy was like working his second job after he just worked all day because Seattle is like the most expensive place in the world to live. And he's like, these two freaking good times idiots.
I mean, we were just kind of like, it just kind of tickled the ear and we're kind of having fun with it. We were like, Oh, that guy. It was funny. Legendary.
He turned bright red, took his cotton candy and just turned around and walked right out of the stadium. Hey, so this news story, unlike the John Wilkes Booth news story, is from today. This news sports story is from today.
Okay.
So if you're watching on Twitch, if you're streaming anywhere, this is like the freshest news story we've ever done on this show. Mets outfielder and designated hitter Yoenis Cespedes didn't show up to the Mets game today. The Mets officials checked the hotel to see if he had overslept or if he was hungover or whatever was going on. This guy just was not anywhere to be found. So the Mets sent security guards over to where he was staying to see if he was okay, just to check on him, because he didn't call, he didn't write, he didn't show up, nothing. He's like a scorned ex-boyfriend. He took his stuff and he's gone. Well, the security guards ended up entering his room, and they found the room was empty, he was gone, and all his belongings were packed up, and they were gone. Halfway through the game today, Cespedes' agent got in touch with the Mets and said he had opted out of the season due to COVID-related reasons. Like he didn't want to play for fear of getting COVID. He didn't tell anybody beforehand. He didn't write anybody beforehand. It's not like he was working, at 7-Eleven or Dairy Mart on the graveyard shift, making minimum wage. He's playing, for the Mets in New York. He's one of the former All-Star, former home run derby winner. It's not like he was throwing, the freight truck at FedEx like I was and not no calling, no showing. This guy's an all-star, Ryan. What do you think about this?
Oh, some people got anxiety. Well, I mean, maybe he has underlying issues. I don't know.
He played,
I know that, in retail, everybody comes to the store.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're not scared to go to the store, obviously. He had already played like the entire start of the season this year. He had 2 home runs in like 6 games, I think. So he was playing pretty good. But when I saw that, I was just like, this is bizarre. There was a guy. I had a story that we never used for the previous episode. There was a guy in the NFL who played the first half of a game in the NFL, and at halftime took his pads off, took his cleats off, put all of his stuff in his locker, and went home and retired at halftime. It reminded me of that story.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of anybody retiring at halftime when it's not announced and nobody sees it coming?
He's like, we're losing.
No, they were
Bye.
losing. They were losing.
Yeah,
and he
like,
said at halftime, he was like sitting in there. They're down by 28. And he's just like, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm not risking anything anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and he said,
if he could get hurt that last half, and then,
yeah, that makes sense. But he it's not like he announced his retirement tour. Nobody knew it was coming. He just decided it at halftime. Hey, so Ryan, check this out. The next Good Time sports story. Now, this one is even better than the first one. Check this out.
Okay.
Retired NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown. Now he is retired, Ryan. He doesn't play for the NFL anymore. He was just suspended for 8 games by the NFL for violating the league's personal conduct policy. So he actually was suspended for 8 games while he was retired.
I don't get it. That's weird. I wonder if it has something to do with his retirement money or something.
No, so if he decides to come back and play next season, he'll have to miss the first 8 games.
Oh.
But he's been flirting with a comeback. He's been trying out for, like, he went and worked out with the Seahawks, and he played with the Patriots for 1 game last year, and then he was suspended or released by the Patriots because of conduct detrimental to the team. So he's had a lot of weird accusations about, like, sexually harassing women that worked for him, or just a lot of he had a moving truck guy show up at his house, and he argued the bill for the moving truck and tried to pull the guy out of his moving truck and, like, beat him up. He's got a lot of weird issues.
He's from the hood, huh?
I don't know if he's from the hood or where he's from, but 2 years ago for the Steelers, he was the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Wow.
This dude has been on Dancing with the Stars. He's also been on The Masked Singer. He's talented. I think he's going down the Kanye West road a little bit. This guy's a little bit off his rocker, I think. How are you going to get suspended from a game when you're not even in the game? The NFL's like, we'll show you for all your bad behavior. For those first 8 games, don't even think about trying to show up, huh? Don't do it.
There's a weird cultural phenomenon going around called cancel culture.
Yes.
So that's probably what it is. People probably flooded the NFL. Like, you're not going to let him in, are you? Are you going to let him in after this? After hearing this? People they try and ruin other people's life like that.
I thought it was so funny when I heard it, though. I was like, man, the NFL really showed him. It's like, if you dare even think about coming out of retirement, buddy, you better just watch out, because, you're suspended, Hey, so Amazon.
We don't want that. We don't want that on our name. So, yeah.
Hey, Amazon is like the biggest company in the world right now. Jeff Bezos is actually the richest man in the entire world. According to Forbes, he's the richest man now in the world.
Yeah.
The NBA players are all in a bubble in Disney World. Did you hear about that? I've told you about that.
Wait, what does that have to do with Amazon? Oh, okay. Here, I'll let you go.
I'll get to it. So check this out. So apparently, Amazon's doing really well for the NBA bubble. They're getting record amounts of deliveries to this bubble in Disney World, because a lot of the NBA players live very luxurious lifestyles. So they can't go without having their stuff they order shipped to the bubble, man. For instance,
Oh boy.
Rockets forward PJ Tucker had 103 pairs of brand new shoes shipped to the bubble last week, and he says he also has more clothes and more shoes arriving next week. He can't go without it, Ryan. What are you gonna do without 103 pairs of fly kicks, dog? You need
Why?
them.
Like you could. There's no way he's gonna wear all those shoes.
Well, maybe he'll coordinate his outfit 3 to 4 times a day. he'll do like more wardrobe changes than a award ceremony.
That's wow. Yeah,
Udonis Haslem,
you would never break in your shoes.
never. They would.
Wow.
You know when you don't break your shoes in, like they lead to blisters. I tried to run in some new shoes once, and it just tore my heels up bad.
Yeah, I wonder what he does with them. It's like every practice, like he takes off his shoes and puts on new ones, and says, hey, give this to the ball boy, and then he changes them. Give this to the water boy. Everybody's got new shoes.
The water boy's like, everybody look like they need some water, and I want to be the one to give it to them. Hey, Udonis Haslem, Heat player, had $5,000 worth of Amazon boxes show up this week. $5,000 in shipping.
1 week.
1 week.
Dude,
$5,000.
What could you?
I don't know. One player had a full fridge with an ice maker on one side, and then like the 2-door fridge that opens up. Like when I was a kid, I thought you were rich if you had an ice maker on your fridge. Like if I went to your house, I'm like, oh my goodness, these people are living a totally different life over here. One guy had one of those delivered to the bubble. That's crazy, man. Yeah. So that ends Good Time Sports for this week. Very important. If you don't know these Good Time Sports stories, you're not in the sports loop nationwide.
No.
So Ryan and I, we say you're welcome.
Right. And if you haven't subscribed or hit that follow button, you better, because see, you gotta hit that notification so you know when this pops up, you're gonna be informed. That's best sports news ever.
ever. Ryan, I love it. I love the little drop there. You're good, bud. You're turning it up another notch. Don't think I don't notice all those posts on Instagram. Whatever lit a fire under your ass lately, I love it.
So, yes, dry. I kind of like it too, because I'm like, wow, I get something where I can actually do super dry humor.
I love it, man. Most of our humor is
like
dry.
Andy Kaufman type stuff.
Oh, hey, Andy Kaufman. Did you ever watch the biography where he was doing a stand-up set and he just like went up on the stage and read the phone book?
I couldn't tell if he was like serious or not. Like, what? Is he trying?
I think he was a beautiful mind, man. He was just so creatively gifted that I think a lot of people didn't understand what he was doing. But when you look back at it, it's like, man, he was so ahead of his time. That Jim Carrey movie, Man in the Moon, is great. Have you seen that movie?
I gotta see it sometime.
Jim Carrey plays Andy Kaufman, and I guess Jim Carrey on the set was super method. So when they weren't filming shots of the movie, he was Andy Kaufman. You had to address him as Andy.
Oh, wow.
He wouldn't speak to you. Yeah. There's a documentary about the making of the movie on Netflix. I think it's called Man in the Moon.
Yeah.
Or Andy, or like Andy and Me, or something like that.
Oh, okay. Man on the Moon's the name of the movie.
Okay, there's a documentary about Man on the Moon.
Oh.
It's Ryan, I'm telling you, it's good. You like biopics too, so this is pretty good.
Oh, have you seen that that Netflix show with the bulls?
Yeah, yes. A
lot of it. It's really good.
Yeah, The Last Dance is good.
The Last Dance, yeah. Oh man, I got.
What's your favorite part so far?
I think I just got through. What's that guy's name? The crazy one.
Rodman.
Yeah, I just got through him. It's been so good. I don't know. I've liked it all. It's been like, wow.
Rodman asked Phil Jackson for a vacation in the season so he could go to Vegas and get drunk.
Yeah. Jordan's like, you're not gonna see him. Not a good idea. He's like, listen, we just got to keep him happy, okay? Just, but it didn't tell you. It didn't tell you if he came back or not. It just
Oh,
okay, and that's the end. He's
Jordan.
gone for 48 hours. Okay, okay, and then we're on the edge. Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna miss a game? And they're like, we're gonna pretend like we didn't say that he's not gonna come back, and just move on with the story, okay?
Oh wait, so you're not at the next episode yet?
Oh, so it does talk about the 48
Yes.
hours.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't got there yet.
All right. Well, I don't want to tell you, but
Okay.
just I'll give you a little hint. Jordan has to go to Vegas himself and hunts Rodman down. I'm not kidding, because Rodman shows up. Rodman misses his window for 48 hours, and Jordan leaves Chicago. He goes to Vegas to get Rodman himself.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So that's a little spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it. So Good Times, Last Stage, spoiler.
Spoilers before. You say spoilers before you give the spoiler.
Oh, well, my brother, I think I've told you this. He is considered to be the biggest spoiler of anything in the world. So we all call him the spoiler. So if he was a supervillain, his superpower is the ability to spoil any movie or TV show.
Oh, goodness.
He'll like come up to you and be like, me and you would be watching a movie that we haven't seen and we're enjoying it. And my brother's like, oh man, I love this movie. I hate the ending when this happened. Blah, blah, blah.
I hate it. Yeah, but I do like, that the show that Rosebud is the sled. That added a lot of meaning to it. Like, you ever see that, Citizen Kane?
I've seen pieces of it. I haven't seen the entire movie. No.
So I didn't know that Rosebud was the sled, so it was really good. But it would totally ruin that movie.
Yeah, that's Aaron.
Rosebud was a sled.
That's Aaron. Hey, by the way, you just did what I did. You just spoiled it.
I know, but not many people are gonna watch it. It's long and black and white.
Hey.
I think it's pretty good.
Ryan, don't underestimate our audience's intelligence. The Good Times Gang members are very astute, high-level members of society. Okay, so that's the way it is.
Alrighty.
You are on such a high level than most people, and you forget sometimes that other people care about some of the same things you do, Ryan. Right? You got to bring you down a notch because you're cut above. All right, and sometimes I'm so in awe of you at times that I get lost.
Good Times Gang. Well, a lot of people get lost when I speak. I even get lost.
No, get out of here. I've been consistently hanging out with you on and off and talking to you since we were 11 years old, and we're in our 30s now. I obviously enjoy talking to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good show.
What, Good Times with Alex and Ryan? Huh?
Yeah.
Is that a good show?
That's right. Good Times.
Hey, Ryan.
Oh, yeah,
Ryan, where's the only place you can get Good Times merch at?
teespring.com/Good Times with Alex and Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, let's get into our first news headline of the night.
Okay, let's do it.
Breaking news. All right. Hey, I hate to break it to you, Ryan, but get your bags packed because we're heading to a very familiar place, Ryan.
Okay, let me see. Florida.
We're going to Florida.
Yeah.
First, we're going to Florida, and then we're probably going to go to Florida again.
Yeah. Then we're going to Hollywood. Then we're going to Utah. Yeah.
And then maybe South Carolina. Yeah. All right, Ryan. A Florida man used COVID relief funds to buy a Lamborghini. David T. Hines of Miami, Florida, was arrested and charged with fraudulently obtaining $3.9 million in Paycheck Protection Program loans, and he used part of those funds to buy a $318,000 Lamborghini. Thoughts, Ryan?
How did that even happen? How did he get by with it enough to get that much money? That's great. Wow. He's like, I got all this stolen money. You know, I could be discreet, but instead, I'm not. I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini, and then I'm gonna buy a nice house, and then I'm gonna tell all my friends how much money I got.
there's there's a movie called Goodfellas. It's about the mafia. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever seen it.
Uh-uh.
They do a excuse me. They do a bank robbery or an airport robbery. It's called the Lufthansa Airport. They robbed like $3 million. Well, like a week later, a couple of the guys in the gang show up with like brand new cars and brand new suits. And Robert De Niro's like, "What did I tell you? I told you not to buy anything. Don't buy anything." And of course, they end up dead. He kills them. Spoiler alert from a 1990 movie.
Yes. This is how the Good Times does spoiler alerts, everybody. We tell you it's a spoiler after we spoil it. Because that's a good time, just to know the looks on your faces when you're like, "Oh man, I want to watch that movie." That's what people that get upset about it sound like. "Oh man."
They're like, "This isn't a good time. I don't like having stuff spoiled all the time." Hey, Ryan, did you know there's a national coin shortage?
Yeah, we're almost out of it at the store. Like some places like Fred Meyer, they say, "Oh yeah, sorry, we round up," and so you can get only
What?
cash. Yeah, up here at least. Yeah, they
They
say they round up the change, so they don't give you change.
That sounds terrible. I paid for a ticket to WrestleMania one year in change. I had quarters from the golf course.
Here's $100 in pennies, quarters, and nickels.
That's insane. That's horrible. So check this out. This guy, Jim Holton, he's Wisconsin. He's a Wisconsin-based painting contractor, and he just recently had to turn in his change. He's a good Samaritan, so actually he's kind of a hero. He heard about the coin shortage, so he had been saving change since his daughter was born 15 years ago because he was like, you know what? I'm just going to start throwing my change in from coffees and, going to the store or whatever into this jar. And eventually we'll be able to go to Europe, right? I'll just keep saving. We'll pretend like it doesn't exist. So he had this jar down in the basement of his house. Coin shortage just happened. He decided to be a good Samaritan. He turned it in. But before he was able to turn it in, he had to call the bank and ask if he could wheel in, let me see what it says here, five 5-gallon buckets of change. So he had 5-gallon buckets. He had to use a dolly. He had to strap these things to a dolly and bring them upstairs. He had that much change.
Wow.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be like $1,500 or whatever. But this is 15 years worth of coffees and, hot dogs at 7-Eleven, whatever.
Oh my God.
He had $5,366 of change that he turned
in. Good for him.
Yeah, so he's a good times hero.
Oh yeah.
He's the good times, good Samaritan of the week. Brought to you by Country Time Lemonade.
Woo! Country Time Lemonade.
Hey Ryan. So when you think of a Saint Bernard, what do you think of?
I think of, I instantly what comes to my head is those big dogs out in the snow with the alcohol around their neck, the rum or whatever it is. That's what I think of.
Yeah, the little barrel that's around their neck. I also think of Saint Bernards when I think of the movie Peter Pan, because their dog Nana was like their caretaker for Peter Pan. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
So check this out. So Saint Bernards normally save people. Well, a Saint Bernard had to be rescued by people the other day, and I actually posted it on our Twitter account.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So in northern England, a giant Saint Bernard had to be rescued. 16 volunteers from the Wasdale Mountain Rescue Team took turns carrying Daisy, the Saint Bernard, down the hill. He weighed 122 pounds, Ryan. Apparently, Daisy collapsed while walking down Scaffold Pike with her owners, and she just refused to walk. She couldn't even like move her legs. She looked like she was in a lot of pain.
Oh.
So the owners had to call the rescue team to rescue the rescue dog.
Yeah, I saw they were carrying that thing a long, long ways.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Hey, Gangsta Cat says hello. What's up, Gangsta Cat? Thanks for streaming, my brother. Hopefully school starts so you can get back in class and stop making fun of me all the time. That'd be great. Weird Uncle Alex in the house.
What's
All right,
up,
hey.
John? Yeah,
OG John.
we're sorry we ruined the spoiler of the Goodfellas.
Yeah, sorry we spoiled Goodfellas, the 1990 classic. If you haven't seen Goodfellas by now, you're probably not going to see Goodfellas. Although it is one of my favorite movies. It's a very good movie. It's a little dark, a lot of killing, a lot of cussing, but it's a movie you need to watch with Diana. But like not.
I'm not what. Nope, too much killing.
It's Ryan. It's a good movie, man. Have you seen The Departed?
No.
That movie is amazing. The Departed is good. You would like it. You would like it. There's a lot of killing though and murder in it though. So you probably would like it. A lot of killing.
lot of killing in that. Not much into that.
A lot of killing. A lot of cussing. Some premarital sex in there. Yeah, a lot of bugaboo issues, I think. Hey Ryan, so check this out. 99-year-old Californian woman, Robina Asti, broke the Guinness Book of World Record for piloting a plane and also giving a flight lesson while flying the plane. She did this a couple weeks ago. 99 years old, flew a plane, and also gave a flight instruction at the same time. Set 2 Guinness Book of World Records at the same time.
Wow. Good job. Yeah. Hooray.
That makes me feel lazy. She's 99. She just set 2 Guinness Book of World Records. What are we doing with our lives? We're hosting a podcast with 3 people watching us right now.
Woohoo! Yeah. Good times, gang.
Hey, we've made it. You know what would make us even more successful?
Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Couple kids in our mid-30s.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, dude. If you asked me 20 years ago what I'd be doing, I probably wouldn't have told you I'd be sitting in a toy room in an apartment in Eugene doing a podcast. I didn't see this coming, but at least I'm alive. That's good. Things are good. Ryan, what do you think about her breaking that record at 99?
Well, I would be more impressed if she won the Olympics.
Oh yeah, because you were teasing earlier about that.
Like, wait for it.
Yeah, you did a callback. I love that. That was good. That was a wraparound joke. You nailed it. I totally am a ding dong, and I forgot that we even talked about that earlier in the episode. Hey, so check this out. So in Australia, in the outback, all right, an Australian pub had to ban 2 emus from coming into the pub. Did you hear about this?
2 emo kids had to be banned from the pub.
No, 2 emus, the animals.
Because they were bringing in a depressing atmosphere.
Yeah, they weren't ordering anything, and they were playing board games the entire night, drinking 1 coffee and sharing it. No, these 2 emus had to be banned from the Australian outback.
Oh no, they didn't euthanize them. Good.
No, they didn't euthanize them. No, they banned them. So what they were doing though, Ryan, the reason they got banned was because they were stealing guests' food, and they were also taking giant dumps in the establishment. So the owner was like, "All right, this is like the 5th time this emu's taking a dump in here. We've got to ban it. I've had enough. Get these emus out of here."
So, funny story about emus.
Okay.
My neighbor in North Bend, Coos Bay, for a while had emus. Do you remember any of that?
In town?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that. Where did they keep them?
Right, he made a like fence, and there was like 20 of them over there. One day, the fence was open, and they started running around town.
Emus got loose in North Bend?
Yes.
I didn't know. I never heard a thing about this.
Oh yeah, it was on the news. They got loose. The firemen came and had to corral them up. They went
Wow.
from like there was some caught near Josh's house from
Josh's mom was probably feeding them like she fed all the cats around town. She's like, "Come here, Emu, get over here."
So needless to say, that was the end of the emus next door.
Yeah, I think there's city limits on like what the size of animals and how many you can have within city limits, right?
I don't know. All I know is that was that was an interesting story. Escape of the emus.
That would have went viral had it happened now.
I know you film it and yeah.
Yeah, that would have went viral. That's the exact type of story that we like to talk about on Good Times. By the way, that's like the perfect story.
But back then, not everybody had a camera in their pocket.
You know what's weird? You say that. I was the king of disposable cameras. That's why I have all those photos of us when we were younger. Like the photos I was sending you the other night, where you're like spray painting at the shop, and where you're with Diana on my couch and stuff. I always had cameras around.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
mom would always get me disposable cameras just randomly, and then I got a Polaroid camera one time, and I love that. But I don't know that you can buy film for Polaroid cameras anymore. Can you?
you might be able to. I don't
Okay,
know. I know a place that has some old tech that they still sell.
really? Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm aware of this place as well, and
Me
it
and
probably costs.
John know where this place is.
Yeah, and it probably says brand new next to this old thing.
I mean, up until when this place when I was in it once, like maybe a year ago, they still had tape players,
Really?
cassette players. Yes,
In the electronics department?
yes.
If they have any VHS players, let me know because I want one.
I think everybody wants one, but no, they don't have any of those.
Yeah, VHS players are hard to find nowadays. Vintage is like in, and people that have VHS tapes, certain copies, are actually making a lot of money because
Wow.
they're valuable. Some of them are out of print. Some movies that were made in the 80s, you can't get them on Blu-ray or DVD. They were just never converted to that format. So they're very valuable.
Like the original cover of Ariel the Mermaid, the Little
Yeah,
Mermaid.
the Black Diamond. Is that what you're talking about?
The original cover of the Little Mermaid, where
Yes.
it's like inappropriate.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. I know what you're saying. Scuttle's like, whoa, it's a dingle hopper. What the? Disney's like, not that dingle hopper. Hey, so speaking of Ariel and Disney, we're going to the last segment of the evening, Ryan. We're going to pop culture, baby.
Pop.
Dirty pop. Dick, dirty pop.
Can't stop. Dirty pop.
That was like NSYNC's last studio album. That was like 2000, 2001-ish. That was the single from like one of their last albums. I think that one didn't do as well. I think it only sold like 57 million copies.
Why did they stop? They just could have kept going and going with money, 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 money.
Yeah, Timberlake though was like, I think he wanted to be solo and do the Michael Jackson thing, which obviously worked.
Yeah, yeah, he was good. He's good.
Yeah. The other members of NSYNC started doing like straight to Redbox movies, reality shows, the casino hotel circuit. I think I saw Lance Bass on like Dancing with the Semi-Famous Stars. Joey Fatone was like judging a hot dog eating competition like on Food Network the other day. I have no idea where Chris Kirkpatrick is, the guy with his braids. Fu Manskita was his clothing brand.
I can't believe you know all these people.
Oh, dude,
I only know Justin, and maybe Lance was the bass guy, right?
Lance was the bass guy and the Christian of the group. He's the one who dated Topanga from Boy Meets World.
From Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World. Hey, Ryan, so we're doing pop culture right now to end the show. Did you know that the Emmys have decided to be it's going to be broadcast virtually? They're not going to have it in person this year because of COVID.
No, I did not.
Yeah. Host Jimmy Kimmel had to email all the people that are nominated and we're going to present and let them know that they're going to do it virtually this year. But this is going to be the first year that they've ever had it where it's not a black tie affair. They're not requiring you to dress up. Here's what he says. Our informal theme for the night is come as you are, but make an effort. And they say this. Jimmy Kimmel says they're doing it that way because time zone differences. So if you're like in Australia or Europe and you're nominated, but they're having the event in America, you're gonna be it's gonna be bedtime. It's gonna be like the next day, basically. So if you're showing up for the Emmys at your house and you're streaming it or you're gonna be on it, like what we're doing right now, they say if you're gonna be in your PJs in bed, you know, getting an award or presenting an award, wear the nicest pajamas you could possibly find. So you're gonna see a lot of Hollywood A-listers in like, you know, nice PJs. You're gonna see a lot of really interesting outfits. I'm intrigued to watch the Emmys for the first time in my entire life just because of this.
Well, you know, if it was us, you'd be in a tux, and I would be in a
burlap sack.
Yeah, you went way burlap sack. I wouldn't be that bad. I just a t-shirt and pants.
Sack. So if you had to wear, here's a what if question. If you had to wear one outfit, right, and it can be nice or it can be bad. If you could have one outfit that you have to wear every day to every event, what would it be?
It would be jeans and an ultra soft shirt, like t-shirt, ultra soft shirt, and some slip-on shoes. Yeah.
For like, because you still look stylish, but you're comfortable.
I would be more focused on being comfortable than style.
Oh yeah, because if you have to wear it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'd wear?
A tux.
And I wear this to the office. I wear
a tux.
No, not a tux. Hey, I wear like Nike shorts or like you know, some sort of like Nike pants, like swoosh pants, not swoosh pants, but you know, like sweats that are comfortable. But it's like 90 degrees in Eugene right now, so I'm not wearing those. I'm wearing shorts, sandals, and a t-shirt. I'd wear it every day, dude. Gangsta Cat talking about the potato sack. He saw that, huh? Gangsta Cat's slowly turning into one of our guys, though. I seriously like it.
He likes to razz us a bit.
Yeah, he was hired by our rival podcast to like just harass the living crap out of us. Gangsta Cat, get into that stream and do your thing. I want you to shake the fat one, and I want you to bug the small one. Just do your thing. All right, Ryan. Last story of the night. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. You know what? This last segment of the night is going to be brought to you by Country Time Lemonade in subsidiary with T-shirt with Teespring, teespring.com.
Oh, okay. So let's do a correction there. Correction. Okay. Not sponsored by Country Time. No, not brought to you by Country Time. Even though we Country Time a lot. It is brought to you by us. Sponsored by us. Teespring.com/good times with Alex and Ryan.
It's in subsidiary.
By you guys.
And hopefully one day in the very near future, in part by Country Time Lemonade. Yeah. Or I drink so much Pepsi Max while we're doing these episodes that should be a part-time sponsor too.
What did you say, Diana?
Ryan.
From viewers like you.
Today's episode was brought to you by the letters G and T for good times. And the number 3 for the amount of viewers we have in the chat. Actually, we're down to 2 now. That was a lie. So we're gonna have a good times correctione. 2 viewerooskies. All right, Ryan. I've tiptoed around this last story enough. I've danced around the topic enough. Time to get to your good times. Last pop culture segment. Last story of the night, bud. We're gonna wrap it up on this.
Oh.
You got any idea what it's about?
No.
All right. Well, it's about Donald Trump. Give me a little Trump. Hey, give me a little Trump.
Well, you know, man, every single news. So it's like news people are so clickbaiting on this guy. You can't go to any news place and see like 50 like spell out of the word Trump, and it's like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, do Trump's voice. Do Trump. Hey,
No,
do Trump.
okay, first let me hear the story, and then maybe I can think of something.
Before the story, I want you to do Donald Trump ordering a meal
No,
at
I'll do it. The news companies, they are terrible. It's all fake news, but they obviously love me because every time you click on a news network or you go to CBS or whatever, it has my name like 50 times, but they're obviously fake, but they still love me because I make the money. Okay?
Hey, Gangsta Cat just said we are the Walmart version of Timon and Pumbaa.
What does that even mean?
Well, I corrected him. I said we're the dollar store version. We're the generic brand of any comedy duo that is actually successful. Thank you very much, Gangsta Cat.
Okay, I get it.
All right, so check this out.
You have to explain it's not as funny.
All right, Donald Trump has made a threat that has stirred up millennials and young people everywhere. Ryan, you know what it is? You know what Donald Trump has threatened?
I know he's threatened to push back the election.
Well, he wants to, but he made a direct threat the other day. He has threatened to ban the social app, the huge popular social app, TikTok. He says he's going to take TikTok away from the children and from the tweens and from the mid 40-year-old women who are divorcees. He's taken the app from them. Ryan, what say you?
I say it's a... I love how you're smiling. You're like, ooh, this is going to be good. And I say you in the Trump voice, this is going to be good.
Ryan, what do you say, bud?
But all I got to say is good luck. You know, can you imagine like any company? You're like, oh, that company, it's banned. You can't just ban a company. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I'm going to ban this. Like, yeah, right. You don't want... Why is that so funny? I'm glad you're laughing because I thought it was just boring.
No, like, dude. I never thought about it like how you're saying it. You're like, I don't like what you're doing. You're banned.
You can't do that. You're like, oh, Microsoft? Huh? Getting all this data? Banned. Out of here. Oh, Google. Huh? Taking all these, searches, putting it in your data system? Huh? You think hot? Huh? You think you can do all that? Well, I'm the president, and you're banned.
Oh, you guys think you're having a good time, making a lot of money? Well, guess what? Veto! Veto.
It was just ridiculous. Like, okay. Obviously, he wants to get some more publicity because that'll do it. But practically, that makes absolutely no sense.
Trump said, and I quote, this is a quote, when he was asked about TikTok, as far as TikTok is concerned, we're banning them from the U.S. End quote.
Sure.
Yeah. He says,
TikTok, there's no way you can prove. Gangsta Cat says, TikTok will be giving Chinese government all the data. Well, they're registered in the U.S. as a company that can work in the U.S. If you do that and you can just ban TikTok, you can ban any company. And like, there's no way to prove that they're taking all our data. You can't prove that.
Yeah, not every company based out of a foreign country is stealing your data, and so if you set that precedent, what's going to stop him from banning every company that's not U.S. based?
There's no way you can do that. Like, and there's no defense. Like, because he'd have to actually prove it, and besides, he couldn't prove it because probably every company from China does it.
Well, if you want to go down that road, he should ban Facebook because they were selling our information to use it for nefarious deeds, right?
Exactly. All these companies do it. There was I don't know if I talked about this before. There was a documentary or a news thing, a little news clip where they were interviewing the guy from Oracle, and they're like, so, what's going on with all this private data? Is it all safe? He's tongue in cheek. He's like, nothing's safe, dude. You use a credit card, we know everything. like, like you can't anything you use public unless you're like, living on the streets and have no cell phone and nothing to your name, and you only use cash, then you're fine.
Yeah, but they're like not even letting us use cash anymore, and they're rounding up the change.
Ooh,
Isn't that
yeah.
crazy? A lot of businesses are like cashless right now. They're like, no, we don't even want to deal with COVID right now. We'll just do your debit card, and we'll disinfect your hand as you swipe it. They'll give you a little spritz. You put your card in, they're like, here's a little spritz. All right, now be on your way. Be on your way. Hey, so apparently, so President Trump saying he's going to ban TikTok, because they're potentially selling your information, because they're Chinese based or whatever. Apparently, a lot of people are predicting that this could hurt him in the upcoming election because a lot of younger voters who love TikTok
Yeah,
could
right.
potentially
Yeah,
strike back
right.
in the voting process, right? At the polls, because they could just say, you took TikTok away from me and I can't make my videos, so I'm not going to vote for you because I can't do this stupid little boomerang crap, so you're not getting my vote. And hey, TikTok could be what destroys him, huh? What do you say, Ryan?
No, I think he did that on purpose to get his name out there bigger again. I think he knew. I think he knew that there's no way it was going to happen, but he just wanted to get on the news. Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, if he bans TikTok, what I'm most interested to see happen is like, what are all these people that are posting, TikTok videos all the time? What are they going to actually do? I mean, because it's like there's a lot of editing involved, a lot of time, a lot of videos where they like touch the screen and then their face would disappear and they're in new clothes and stuff. They're going to actually have to work. They're actually going to have to go do stuff other than TikTok.
Let me tell you what'll happen, because
All
this
right.
happened. This happened. You remember Vine?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So they shut down Vine. Those people, the big ones, came over to YouTube and became huge YouTube stars, and they just Logan Paul, Lele Pons. Oh man, it got cringe after Vine shut down, and they just set up a whole bunch of cringe videos. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what happens though. They go to a different platform. So Mixer shut down. A lot of people are going to Facebook, Facebook gaming. So they just switch, go to a different place.
Did you see that Logan Paul is actually boxing on the undercard of the Tyson comeback fight? I'm serious. That's not a joke.
Yeah, he wants to be a professional fighter.
Hey man, he's been fighting for clicks his entire life, man. Fighting for views and clicks, man. He's a champ on YouTube. He's gonna be a champ in the boxing ring now, apparently.
Well, he has fought a few fights. He's lost every time, but
like, man, but he has mad heart. Like when he gets knocked out, oh man, he fights his ass off. Wait, Gangsta Cat says Logan Paul's not fighting on the what? Gangsta Cat, I had read that he was fighting on the undercard. You have some new information? Let us know in the chat here, buddy.
Huh.
Ryan, you got anything else for today's episode?
Yeah. You hear about his brother.
Okay. Good times correction.
Logan.
What's his name, Gangsta Cat? What's
Jake
Logan
Paul.
Paul's brother's name?
Jake Paul's.
Jake Paul?
Yeah, he was on Disney. He was on Bizarrevark or something.
Oh, that's a show I've never heard of or seen, but I'll check it out. Breaking Bad, Bizarrevark, Breaking Bad, Bizarrevark.
You don't watch Disney tween shows?
When I was a tween, yes. That's So Raven, Hannah Montana.
Yeah, so my kids were kind of that age. But
yeah, those were my jams.
But here's my other thing. Have you heard about Ellen DeGeneres and they're like all the turmoil coming about from that show? Like people are saying it was just a horrible place to work. And
I did hear about that, and the first thing I thought of, Ryan, was I was upset because I love the Ellen DeGeneres Ellen show slot machines in casinos. I love that game. And if they try to take those out of casinos, I'm going to be pissed. And also, one of my goals is once I get 100 pounds down, I want to go on the Ellen show, tell my story, and dance with her on stage. But I don't want to be sexually harassed while I'm on stage. I can tell you that much.
Have you? So you've been following up on it?
I've read, I've skimmed the show, the stories, but some of those articles are really long because there's a ton of accusations.
Is there? I just kind of saw the headlines. I didn't even look too much into it. I was like, oh my goodness, it's a comedian. It's supposed to be fun.
Exactly. That's like if a bombshell came out about the Good Times show, like, when we have guests on, we're just slapping them on the ass and like being really rude to them when they're on the show.
Virtually.
Yeah, virtually. Hey, Domingo, Mike, get over here. I want to slap you on your ass. You're doing a show. Get over here. Get on the virtual casting couch, Domingo.
Oh goodness. Yeah. No,
so
I remember one time Bernie was on the show, right?
Yeah.
And she was embarrassed by what was written on the cards because he was going for the Democratic nominee.
Yeah.
And they were trying to the cards were kind of like trying to shame him so that he wouldn't do as well in the nomination. Like, so one of them was like, have you ever been arrested? Because they knew he was arrested for like protesting.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you don't have to answer that if you don't want.
They were baiting him. They wanted him to answer the way they wanted.
Yeah.
He looked like a fool.
Yeah, they were kind of doing that. I'm like, okay, yeah.
That's kind of messed up.
Well, I picked up on it, so I don't know if this was true, but that's what I saw. That's what it looked like happened.
Well, I can tell you as a producer of a radio show that Monday through Friday, nothing goes on air that's not in the rundown sheet. So if there's quite specific questions that are going to be asked of a guest, that stuff is already pre-planned. So those producers knew exactly what they were writing down on those cards.
But did she know?
I don't know. They filmed so many episodes.
She looked a little like concerned when she asked it.
I don't know if it depends on how much she reads the rundown sheet. So she would have to be they film a lot of those episodes back to back to back. So, and they probably run a lot of stuff by her. She's a very important, popular person. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that like oversight gets missed, I'm sure. So yeah. It's totally possible that she didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it seemed like it was. I was like, okay. Yeah.
You got anything else? What else is going on?
Nah.
Nothing?
Nope. Yeah. Just.
Hey, I got one more thing before we end this, and I was actually going to use it earlier. Since we've got three to four viewers watching live, I want to pay back the Good Times gang members with one more story.
All right.
So check this out. So
live audience, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. We appreciate all the action in the chat tonight. It's been really interesting. And Gangs to Cat TV, by the way, you've helped us a lot with some of your stuff you've been telling us. So we really appreciate that, man. The Logan Paul thing was clutch. So check this out. So baseball restarted, amid the pandemic, but they're not in a bubble, Ryan. They have no fans. They're traveling from city to city. There's no fans. They're just kind of trusting that the players will be smart and socially distance themselves and isolate themselves when they're not playing. They have some other rules, like you can't high five, you can't spit on the field anymore. There's a lot of like little nuances. They wear masks. A lot of the players, they don't sit in the dugout. They'll sit in the stands a distance from each other, the players.
So those 80s, early 90s players that all chewed would have been in a little trouble.
Oh, they would have, yes. And yes, there's no way. But apparently, COVID is like still really rampant. But the Miami Marlins have been hit the hardest. They have 19 players and coaches and personnel have all tested positive for COVID in the last week. The Marlins haven't played a baseball game in over a week, and they're penciled in to play Tuesday. But I don't know how you're going to play baseball with 19 people out and no minor league system, because there's no minor leagues this year, because they shut that down because of COVID months ago. So you have what you have, and you're going to play or you're not going to play.
You could still call in some of those minor leaguers.
Well, yeah, but Ryan, are those guys? Are they even in shape? Like, what are they doing? Like, oh, hey, Steve, I know you haven't hit a baseball in 3 months. Would you like to come up and play with the Marlins today?
Why not?
I
Better
don't
than
know.
nobody.
But baseball. So the commissioner Rob Manfred had threatened. He's like, listen, if we don't get this stuff taken care of, I'm gonna shut the season down for real. So he's like
Yeah.
Puff Daddy on making the band. He's like, listen, you guys don't do what I want, I'm shutting the studio down. I'm gonna shut. Listen, you guys don't do what I'm doing, I'm shutting it down.
Been spending most of my life living in a gangster's. They did test a while ago the Ohio football team, Ohio College, and found that most of them, like over 90%, had COVID but no symptoms.
Oh,
So
they were all asymptomatic.
yeah, so like those
Wow.
big athletic people, like high athletic, they don't have, they're pretty asymptomatic. They're probably pretty what do you call it? Asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I just saw on the news yesterday here in where I live that the people in the hospital, the average age is 78. Average.
Oh, because they're older and they can't handle
Yeah.
the
So I
respiratory
think it was
illness,
the average age of death. It was 7. That's average, 78.
which is older than the national average of how old a person is usually supposed to live anyway.
Well, but think about so that means above 78, there has to be a lot of people because an outlier, you could have so many outliers of being so much younger, like 50. I mean,
Yeah.
so most people are really old, like
Well,
older.
Ryan, what would be really amazing is if those 78-year-old people who are on respirators right now from COVID got healthy and ended up training really hard and winning an Olympic gold medal.
Olympic gold medal, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I think it's possible. I mean, your chances of doing that, even at that age with COVID on a respirator, is better than winning the Mega Millions lottery.
That's right. Here's to you. Well,
here's all the good times grinders.
Who's that one we talked about? Kathy Gold something? Gold.
Oh, the 99-year-old lady who
beat both. 1918.
Oh, wait. Yeah, no, she beat COVID and the Spanish flu.
Yeah. It was Kathy Goldstone or something.
Hey, man, grit and tenacity, whatever she's doing. You know what I've noticed about people that live to be like 100 years old? And I don't know if it's like universally the same way, but I've noticed a lot of similar things in their stories. Someone will say, hey, you're 100 years old. You're an octogenarian. How did you do it? How did you make it? And they'll be like, well, I ate red meat every day, bacon every morning, smoked 2 packs of cigarettes, non-filtered, drank coffee every meal, drank scotch and bourbon, after dinner. And then I smoked another pack of ciggies and I had a cigar and went to bed. I think it's just genetic.
Well,
I think you have to be.
But think about what you were talking about. Like a lot of it, so like the drinking and stuff, a lot of it is social, like a social life. Like having good mental health is huge. Really big to keeping, a good, long, strong life is having a good social life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, I can tell you one thing. If me and you continue the Good Times show and keep the good times rolling, at least on the nights we're recording, our social life will be a good time.
Good time.
Yeah. Oh, hey, one last thing before we end the show. One more thing.
All right.
We got a little dark there about COVID. I want to talk real quick. I read this fact when I was going down the sports stuff I wanted to have on the show. And so there was a jockey in the 1920s who was a fill-in jockey for a horse race. He won the race, but when he crossed the finish line, he was dead.
Oh.
So a dead man.
So we got a little dark here on the Good Time Show.
No, this isn't dark.
We're going to do something happy right now. So we had a jockey. He was 20. In the 20s. And you know what? He was winning, and it was going to be great. And he died.
Yeah, but he went out on top, man. He won the race. And,
Yeah, but he didn't even know he won the race.
Yeah, but he did though, so that's what all that matters. If it takes dying to win, it's worth it. Right, Ryan, in the show.
All right. Hey, everybody. Gangsta Cat TV, OG John, Nicole, Good Times Gang, wherever you are. Thanks for watching. We will. Oh, Marcus Miller. I see you. All righty. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Be sure to hit the subscribe, follow button, get that notification ringing so you won't miss out on any good times. And we will catch you next time.
See you later, guys. Mahalo. Thank you guys for watching.
Later.